Welcome to the Teach Me channel. So here in this video I wanted to show you what is Packer and why we use Packer. So what is Packer? Packer is a community tool for creating identical machine images for multiple platforms from a single source of configuration. So same configuration we can use for multiple platforms to create the machine image. Okay, so what is machine image? So a image is a single static unit that contains a pre-configured operating systems and installed software which is used to quickly create a new running machines. So earlier to Packer, so what we were doing, we were using some AWS automation like SSM document to create AMIs, create the EC2 instance, then run the automation document, and then create the AMI from that EC2 instance. But after Packer, we don't have to do this manually. So why we use Packer? So this is like advantage of using Packer. So there are multiple advantages like it's super fast infrastructure deployment. It's like automation. We don't have to do any manual build, multi-provider portability. Then other than that, it is improved stability and greater testability. And another one thing you can say like maintainability. So use cases are like this, like for continuous delivery, they plot parity, then appliance demo creation. So different kind of use cases are there. Packer terminology. So there are different terms we use in Packers like this, like artifacts, builds, builders, then data sources, provisioners, templates. So all these kind of terms we use in Packer. So after that, here comes the command line CLI. So there are multiple commands uh, like init, plugins, build, console fix, format, then validate, ACL to upgrade. So all these kind of commands are available for Packer. So we'll see these commands after installing Packer. So there are templates. So there are two type of templates are available like JSON and ACL2. So we can convert JSON to ACL2 using the ACL2 upgrade command. If we have the configuration in JSON, Packer configuration in JSON, then we can convert that to ACL2 by using that ACL2 upgrade command. Okay. Then next is ACL template. So these are the blocks. So we can use variables, then source, locals. This is similar to the Terraform that we use locals, then variables, then data sources, then there comes functions. So what are the functions? Like most important functions are there, like contextual functions. So we have vault, so we can get our secrets from vault using this function, vault function. Then we can use AWS secret manager as well to store our secrets in the AWS secret manager, and we can use them from there using these functions. But this timestamp is function is also useful. We can use timestamp function for uh, date time. And, after that, here comes the variables. So we can declare variables in Packer. So like this. Then after that it comes locals. So local variable. So inside the local we can define our local variables, and then we can get the variable from referencing to the local. So now let's go and install Packer in our machine. So I have a Ubuntu machine here. So here if you type Packer, you can see there are two options to install Packer they are providing. Okay, so this is the Ubuntu machine and WSN system in Windows, and we can use our documentation for installing the Packer. So here you can see manual installation, then homebrew OS X, and then Chocolatey for Windows and Linux. So you can download the binary and then install that. Here already it is showing like you can use snap for installing Packer, or maybe sudo apt install Packer. So let's go and use this sudo apt install Packer. Let's give the sudo password. Sorry. Yep, that's it. Packer got installed. If you type in Packer, you'll see all these commands are available. Now what we will do, we will create a directory called Packer demo. Okay, so if you go to Packer demo directory. Okay, now let's go to the documentation again. So here in this documentation, in the tutorial section, you can see the tutorial section there are AWS, Docker, then HCP Packer. All these sections are available. If you go to the AWS, you can see getting started with AWS. So installing the Packer we already have done. Build an image. So if you click the build an image, here you can see write Packer template. So all the steps they have given, like mkdir Packer tutorial, then cd Packer tutorial they are doing. Then after that, create a file called AWS Ubuntu Packer.html. Let's get that file name and create that file. Okay, then I will start my VS Code here. Okay, so now what we will do, we will go to the documentation and copy this code and paste it here. As you can see, there are three parts in this. So first is the Packer, second is the source, third is the build. So this Packer is the plugin that we require to communicate with the platform, or maybe so different plugins are available. If you go to the documentation and if you go to plugins, yes, so here if you can go to plugins and see the overview, so there are different plugins available. So built-in plugin, then external installing plugin, development plugin. So installing the plugin. So how to install the plugin? If you see the example, you'll come to know like Packer, then required plugins. So this is the cloud, like AWS cloud, this is Happy Cloud. So those kind of plugins that we can install. How to install the plugin? If we use the order Packer init command for managing and installing the plugins. If we go to the integrations, then let's go to the Amazon plugin, and if you see here, you can see the installation, how we can install the AWS plugin. This is the code, like Packer required plugin is Amazon, then this is what we are using in our code. So this is how we can use plugins and install them in Packer. So this part is like installing the plugins. So the next is a source block. So what is the source block? If you go to the documentation and see, this is the packer block. So in the packer block, so one more thing in the packer block is the packer settings. So required packer versions. So as we are mentioning the packer version, as you can see, this is the packer version. And other thing in this packer block is the required plugins. So all the required plugins that we can install, as I already have mentioned. So second is the source block. So source block configures a specific builder plugin which is then invoked by the build block. Source blocks use builders. So what is builder? If you open this, you can see the builders, available builders are here. Okay. And for Amazon, these are the builders. Amazon CS root, then Amazon EBS, then Amazon EBS surrogate, then Amazon EBS volume. So these are the builders available for AWS. So if we go to the Amazon EBS, you can see the create EBS backed AMI by launching the source AMI and repackaging it into new AMI after provisioning. And the second is the create instance store AMI by launching the provisioning a source instance, then rebuilding it and uploading it to the S3. So it will be stored in the S3. It's in Amazon CH root. So I will not go detail about all these. Okay, let's go and check the next part is the build. So this is the build section. So here we can do the build. So in this part we can name the build of that build, like learn packer. Here it is saying like, and the source. So source we are calling from here, source Amazon EBS, then Ubuntu. So we are calling this block. So inside this block, if we will see, these are the attributes available. Okay, so the AMI name, so the resultant AMI name will be learn packer Linux AWS. Then instance type, what type of instance will be like launching at the time of build. This is the T2 micro. Here it is mentioned T2 micro, and the region we are using is US West 2. We are not using, we will not use US West 2, we will use AWS South 1. This is the Mumbai region. And the source AMI filter. So this is the filter, and this is the name of the base image. So we need a base image AMI. On top of that, we will configure our own components, and then we will create that AMI. So this is the owner of that AMI, and then SSH username. So there are communicators in Packer. So if we go to the documentation, you will see there are communicators. Let's go to source block communicators. You can see these communicators. Let's go to the communicators. So there are three types of communicators. No communicators will be used if this is said. Most provisioners also cannot be used. There are two types: SSH for Linux-based AMIs and WinRM for the Windows AMI. So these are types of communicators in Packer. Let's go to the code and try some commands. Okay. Let's go to the Linux machine and clear the screen. Now let's Packer. First command is init. will install the plugin. No plugin requirement found. Make sure okay. Let's use another command like packer format. So this will format my packer.html file. So if we are not formatted properly, then this will be formatted, I believe. Let's try this. Yeah, this is formatted. You can see this. It is formatted properly. Okay, then after that, go to the documentation and go to here. Now if we want to build that AWS AMI, what is the basic requirement is the authentication. So from my Linux machine, we have to authenticate to the AWS account where we want to build that AWS AMI. So for that, what we have to do, here we have home directory, and here in the AWS directory, you can see this credential file. If we see this credential file, there will be two credentials. So one is the access key, another one is the secret access key under this default block. Okay, so whenever we run Packer, so this will go to this directory, AWS directory. This is the default location, and it will search for AWS access key and secret key. We will go back to the Packer demo directory. So cd home demo. This is the directory where our Packer file is available. Now what we will do, Packer build, then the name of the Packer file. Let's enter. Okay, you can see pre-validating and provided PPC information. So this will the AMI name will be this one. So image ID is found. Then creating temporary key pair. So it will create the temporary key pair. Then temporary security group also will be created. Then authorization access port 22. So to access give access to the port 22 and launching a source AWS instance. So it is the instance it is creating. Let's go to the AWS console and see what are happening. So waiting for instance to become ready. So this is the instance ID. Let's get that instance ID. Go to the console and see that instance ID. Yeah, this is the instance that is created, and currently the instance is stopped. As you can see the console output, you can see stopping the instance. So the Packer stopped the instance and waiting for instance to stop. Then it has stopped the instance and then creating AMI learn Packer Linux AWS. The name of the AMI that already we have given in our code, and here this one. So this is the AMI name. It is tagging and it is creating the AMI now and waiting for AMI to become ready. Let's go to the console and see if some AMIs are built or not. Yeah, you can see the learn Packer Linux AWS AMI, which is still in pending status. And yeah, that's it. This is how Packer can create machine images from a base image. Let's wait for it to complete. Okay, now you can see the instance is getting terminated, and that's terminating the source AWS instance, and clean up all the extra volumes, and all other temporary security group will be deleted automatically. The build is finished and the AMI is created. The AMI, you can see the AMI is now available. Let's delete this AMI. We don't need this. How to delete that? First delete this snapshot and then delete the AMI. Deregister the AMI. Just deregister and delete this snapshot attached to that AMI. Delete this, delete. Okay, so that is how we create AMI using Packer. We'll go through some more build options and we'll see how we can debug the issues in the AMI. See in the next videos. Thank you. Do like, subscribe and share. Thank you so much.